This is Wicked Roadie, a wicked good podcast about Rhode Island events and life. Hello, my name is Mary Larson.
And I'm Ben DeCastro. Welcome to this post-Supermoon edition of Wicked Roadie. Mary, did you look at the moon over the past 20 nights?
I did, and I thought it was pretty cool. I do not have a telescope or anything fancy like some of my friends do, so I just got to see it with my bare eyes. I tried to take a photo with my iPhone. I don't recommend doing that.
Everybody's disappointed with their iPhone photos, I feel. It's like everybody that I know posted online is like, oh, I can't get a good enough shot. If you took a tortilla, though, like a soft tortilla, and stuck it to your window, it looked just like the same thing. It was amazing. Supermoon.
Love it. Did you get to see it?
We did. We were driving back from Pennsylvania. We went, visited some family friends this weekend in Brookville, Pennsylvania. A lovely 9-hour car ride. And if you would like to see 53 seconds of that 9-hour car ride, head over to the Ben DeCastro page and enjoy the little video my wife put up with quite a lot. And
in 50 seconds.
In 53 seconds and of the 9 hours. But as we were heading back and coming in through, actually, we started seeing it when we were crossing over the Tappan Zee Bridge.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was really cool to see that. And then it went behind all the buildings, and I just kept on focused on the road because at that point, you get to the point when you drive anywhere, I feel like, even if it's just to New York City, that once you start driving in Connecticut, it never ends. Why does Connecticut not have 3 lanes on 95 the entire way?
Honestly, I was saying we should even just have like a C-shaped bridge if you're going to skip Connecticut.
Oh, my
That could go a little bit on the ocean from New York to Rhode Island.
Something. Just a time warp. I mean, it just doesn't end. And like,
all that construction. I don't know why.
And every rest area in New York is gorgeous. Each one of those like truck stops where it's got McDonald's and Dunkin' Donuts and Sbarro and Pinkberry, and there's a place called Nothing But Sugar, which is literally a candy shop. I'm like, yeah, that's great. Feed the kids that before you put them in the car for the rest of the ride home. Every time you go in there, I feel like I lose an hour because it's so packed, it's so congested. There's 25 gas pumps, everything's full, and people are going for the one that they're going to the one where the tank's on the wrong side. It was very stressful on the way home. But I'm back in Rhode Island now.
Welcome.
Life is great. What'd you do this past weekend?
We got to relax a little bit. I finished unpacking. We are now pretty much all unpacked aside from the stuff in our fake garage. And Blake and I started a new podcast.
You are actually on episode 2 of it now, I believe.
We are. We're pumping it out. It's called You've Been Gilmored, and it's all about the Gilmore Girls. So the Gilmore Girls is coming back to Netflix with their 8th season. It was on the WB for a very, very long time, 7 seasons to be exact. And there's already a ton of great podcasts out there. But Blake and I said, let's do a mini project. So people can find it now. It's actually up in iTunes, and we're hosting it on our website, which is maryandblake.co. But it's fun. It's like half-hour episodes, just the same length as Wicked Roadie, and we're going through kind of like what we believe are the top 12 episodes broken down by character. It's really a lot of fun.
I've got to say, Mrs. DeCastro is thoroughly impressed with Blake's handle on this and his ability to talk for 30 minutes about You've Been Gilmored, because I'll be honest with you, the fact that our show notes say You've Been Gilmored is all I can talk about that show.
Oh
Isn't there? There's a person on there, I guess, named Lorelei or something.
She's the lead.
I grew up when my mother and my sisters would watch it, and they were just talking so fast. I'm like, I got to get out of here. And I just go do something else. Show me the Muppets.
I love it. See, I started watching the Gilmore Girls when I was much younger, when it was on TV, and then I rewatched it when I was pregnant with my second child. And eventually Blake started to watch it, and he said, Mary, you're Lorelei Gilmore. You talk very fast. You think snow is magical, and you drink way too much coffee. Like, I think I married this TV character.
That sounds a lot like Buddy the Elf,
right? Which I think I also am. So it's a really fun podcast, and then the new season comes out with 4 episodes. the weekend after Thanksgiving.
On Netflix.
On Netflix, and each episode is a season. So for 90 minutes, it will be winter, and then the next 90 minutes will be spring. And so Blake and I are going to be watching these long episodes and then doing a recap after each episode. So a lot of people are excited about this, new season, and we just kind of jumped on the bandwagon. So you can check that out. If you look for the hashtag You've Been Gilmored, you'll find our podcast.
You've Been Gilmored. I love it. So if you're tuned in while you're on the road, we're going to start talking about all the wicked fun things that we have here in Rhode Island. Whether you're on the road working or getting some errands done, just sit back, relax, enjoy the episode. If you hear something that piques your interest, we'll have all the links and info in our show notes and on our website, wickedroadiepodcast.com.
This week's episode of Wicked Roadie is sponsored by Bleed for This, produced by Verdi Productions. So Bleed for This is based upon the true story of Vinny the Tasmanian Devil Paz. He's a local Providence boxer, and he's shot to stardom after winning 2 world title fights. After that, he had a near-fatal car accident, which left him with a broken neck, and he was actually told he may never walk again. Against all odds and doctor's orders, renowned trainer Kevin Rooney agrees to help Vinny return to the ring just a year after the accident for what could be his last fight of his life. It's an extraordinary movie. We got to have the premiere in Rhode Island last week, and this movie comes out in theaters nationwide this weekend. You'll be sure to check that out.
I saw commercials for this when I was in Pennsylvania, and everybody who was in the room saw the commercials and said, "Wow." And I sat there and I said, "Yep, I come from the state that happened in." And it is going to be this is going to be Oscar-winning material.
It is. There's been a lot of buzz already about possible nominations and awards that these people could win. Miles Teller, who is a huge star right now, actually took on the role of Vinny Paz. And being a Rhode Islander, you're going to want to check it out because they mentioned things like the Dunkin' Donuts Center. It was the Providence Civic Center. Yeah, they talk about that. The character Vinny, he even goes out to grab a coffee at Dunkin'.
That's great.
They're going to Twin River in the movie all
Who's
the time.
Who's the announcer in the boxing ring?
It actually is Frank Carpano.
Right, yeah. He was covering sports at the time.
Yes.
And that was really cool. And if you watch the preview too, it talks about, you hear a news report, and I don't know if it was the original report.
It was.
So it was where the accident happened. The news report the next day say, boxer Vinny Pazienza was rushed to Kent County Hospital. Mm-hmm. So you hear all the Rhode Island landmarks. So this is such a really cool thing.
And it was filmed in Rhode Island.
Yes.
So the shots in Kent County Hospital are really Kent County Hospital.
That's so great.
Yeah. So definitely check it out. It's in theaters nationwide. Actually, today, the day the episode comes out. All right, Ben, what do we have going on this week that is wicked interesting?
We've got an event you won't want to miss, especially if you're in the East Bay or from the East Bay. It's Warren's Holiday Festival, which kicks off Friday, November 25th from 5 to 8 p.m., and it follows up with additional activities on Saturday, November 26th from noon to 3. We know this event is next weekend, but you got to make plans now because this is such a wonderful family-friendly event. If you just want to go with your spouse, if you just want to go with friends, the finalized schedule is being put together and it'll be available this Monday with all the different activities that are out there. But I can tell you this, there'll be choral performances. Ooh. There'll be the Toe Jam Puppet Band. Everybody, those guys are
really great.
They're awesome. Circus Dynamics will have 2 fire shows and also juggling shows throughout the 2 days of events. And of course, the man of the season, Santa Claus himself, will be in attendance, so you can get your photos with Santa, bring him the Christmas list that need to, any final last minute items you have to add in there. And it's just, and by the way, he comes by fire truck during the parade. It is the highlight of the entire festival. It is the Friday night parade. It's led by the Mount Hope High School Marching Band, and it's actually a candle-lit procession up Baker Street. It takes a right onto Main Street. The streets are all shut down, and then they end at the town hall where they'll count down, throw the big switch, light up all the colorful lights in the trees that line downtown Main Street and the poles on the north end of Water Street. This is such a wonderful little event. It's almost all of it's free. I mean, you may have to pay $1 for, a gingerbread cookie or something here and there, but they will have gingerbread cookie decorating.
I love it.
They'll have hot cocoa. The shops in downtown Warren will be open late on the Friday night. So this is a great event, like I said, for your family, your friends, your grandparents, whomever. Grab some hot cocoa, throw on your hat and mittens, and come on down for the Warren Holiday Festival.
So here's a quick question for you. Like, you live in Warren.
Yes.
Where should I park? I don't get to go over there that frequently. And you said that the streets are going to be shut down. I need to go to this event. As you said, I'm like a Christmas elf.
Yep.
My son loves Santa. He loves fire trucks. I'm sold. But as someone who does not live on the East Bay, where do I park?
All right. So there's different areas you can park. Right behind Fire Station 1, which is the Central Fire Company, near the police station, Joyce Street in Warren, there's a lot of municipal parking over there. Mm-hmm. Then right off of Child Street, which is Route 103, there's a municipal lot behind the shops that face Main Street. So if you went all the way up 103 past the Dell's Lemonade and the bike path on the opposite side, there's a parking lot there. There's also some parking lots a little further down. So depending on how close to time you get there, there's also some street parking. There's parking down a little further down at like the Navigant Credit Union because they close at around 5 o'clock on Friday night. So you could park there for the parade. But it seems to flow very well. And there's, like I said, there's plenty of parking everywhere, even at the library. So you really have a lot of options.
Perfect. Yes. Yeah, it sounds like it.
Mm-hmm. So that's what's going to get interesting. Again, it's our Warren Holiday Festival in Warren next weekend, November 25th and 26th. And now it's time for What's Wicked Fun in the 401.
All right, so this Sunday at 11 a.m., you and your loved ones or your family are going to want to head to, believe it or not, the Gano Street Dog Park. That's right near the Dunkin' Donuts on Gano Street, that if you're heading to the east side, you've got to go past it. Mm-hmm. There's a pretty cool event going on, Ben. And I know I put this in the show notes and you said, what is this? There's going to be a big match of Quidditch. Now, what is Quidditch, you may ask?
I have no idea what Quidditch is.
This little musical cue might clue you in. Quidditch is the Muggle sport, Muggle meaning non-magical, that people play quite frequently now in colleges and in universities. So this, of course, is some of the music from Harry Potter to give you a little bit of a taste. But what happens is people run around on broomsticks, with broomsticks in between their legs. They can't fly, of course. This is real life we're talking about.
Okay, so we don't need the rigging. We don't need the harnesses or nothing.
None of that.
Very good.
It's going to be against our home team, Providence. Now, there's a lot of students from Brown, but it's really a community sport. So if you wanted to join a Quidditch team, you could contact the Providence team, and they're going to be playing against Clark and UNH, and this is going to be here in Providence. This team is called the Providence Ashwinders.
This is a 3-way match.
Yeah.
So there's 3 teams on at the same time.
Oh, no. So it's going to be like 2 are going to face off.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's going to be like a whole kind of day affair.
Okay. So this is a tournament.
This is a big tournament.
This is a tournament. Mm-hmm. Oh, my word.
And this is one of the last games of 2016. As I said, this is the only Quidditch team in Providence. The first game is at 11, and it is so much fun. It's free.
Where do I get a broomstick? Is it something I have to pick up at Benny's?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I didn't know if I can go to like second time around sports and like in the Quidditch section, just past all the hockey equipment.
Yes.
Down there by the lacrosse equipment, there's the Quidditch broomsticks. Okay.
Quidditch is, the co-ed sports. You're going to see guys and girls up on the teams playing. It is full contact. They literally just wear mouth guards and they have the broom, but it's kind of like soccer with a...
This is jousting without a horse.
It kind of is. And then, I don't know if you've seen Harry Potter, but there's this magical ball that flies. It's called the snitch. And to recreate that, they actually have a person that wears some type of yellow, and that person gets to run around outside of the field. They have no rules whatsoever, and other people have to chase them. So it really helps get the crowd involved. It's a really cool sport. For those of you who have watched Harry Potter or who've read the books, I really recommend checking out a real life Quidditch game, and you can do that at the Gano Street Dog Park this Sunday. Brooms are up at 11.
I love it. I love it. You can tell who hasn't seen Harry Potter of the two of us. Oh, well, Elf Jr., the musical.
Another thing I love.
Absolutely. Is coming to the Stadium Theater in Woonsocket this Friday and Saturday. There's one show Friday night at 7:30. There's two shows at Saturday, 2 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. And you know the story. It's based on the beloved holiday film of the fish out of water comedy that follows Buddy the Elf on his quest to find his true identity. So Buddy is a young orphan who mistakenly crawls into Santa's bag of gifts, transported to the North Pole. And I mean, nobody does the Buddy the Elf impressions like my co-host, Mary Larson. So, Mary Larson, what is Buddy's key phrases?
Buddy the Elf, what's your favorite color? Santa, I know him. Oh, I do. I love the movie, The Elf, and I love, I've seen this show now way too many times. When I've seen it at different places, they even have fake snow. So it's a great way to kick off the holiday season. Really is. And, the Stadium Theater, we were just talking about with some friends. The Stadium Theater is really that gem that's in the northern part of the state. It's only about 15 minutes from Providence. It's not that far. Plenty of great restaurants up there. You can make a day of it, make a night of it, go with a loved one, take the kids to the matinee show, whatever you want. Majority of the people at the Stadium Theater that you'll see working there are volunteers. They've got like 100 volunteers that make that theater come to life. It's gorgeous, so you don't want to miss it. It's Elf Jr. the Musical at the Stadium Theater in Woonsocket this Friday and Saturday. Woohoo! All right. Also going on this weekend. Ben, do you like to dance?
I do.
You do? Well, you're going to want to head on over to the Towers in Narragansett, where you probably know that venue, right?
I've been there once or twice. I've committed my life in that building. But that would require me to dance in public, which I'm not that good at doing. So,
well, you might want to when you get to hear Dynamite Rhythm. They're an awesome band that plays music from the 50s to the 70s. And I don't know about you, but I don't really get to hear that music much anymore.
No, because you know what oldies are? Our friends over at B101, oldies are now the 80s and 90s.
I can't even handle it. Oh my gosh. So of course, this kind of what we knew as oldies music is so fun to sing along to, is so fun to dance along to, and rarely do you get to hear a live band perform this music. So as I said, Dynamite Rhythm, it's a great ensemble. It's a ton of musicians going to play all of your old favorites, and you can bring a date, come stag, whatever, dance the night away. The cover charge is only $50.
Poodle skirts optional.
That's right. That's right.
Another great musical happening. Everything around the holidays is usually musical based anyway. But the Chorus of Westerly presents Ralph Vaughan Williams' Christmas Cantata, Hodie. Now, there'll be two performances of this dramatic and stunning cantata at 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. at the George Kent Performance Hall down there in Westerly. And you can experience this joyful journey through the Christmas story featuring narration by chorus trebles. And you can join conductor Andrew Howell and the Festival Orchestra along with some talented soloists who will help bring this incredible Vaughan Williams holiday masterwork to life.
Now, have you been to the George Kent Performance Hall in Westerly?
I haven't, but I've seen a lot of the photos. It is a stunning venue. It is really, it's listed on Facebook, I believe, as a sports and entertainment venue.
Interesting.
And it looks almost to be like a church or a cathedral. But from everything I see there, it's got amazing acoustics that would support a orchestra and a choir, which this is going to be. The Chorus of Westerly does great work. They have some very talented people who are part of it. They've brought in some very high-end vocalists, sopranos and baritones and tenors who will help tell the story. And a Christmas cantata obviously is more of a storyline musical as it goes through. So it's something that if you're down in that area or you just want to take the ride down to Westerly, it's not that hard to get to, especially on a Sunday. Head on down to the George Kent Performance Hall and experience this amazing, amazing Christmas story.
I actually graduated with the conductor, Andrew Howell.
Did you?
Yes, I did. Yeah, and George Kent was one of my professors at URI. So this group is really, it is top notch, as you were just saying. This isn't just your local, community chorus. This is quite an ensemble to go check out.
And no dig to local community choruses, because there are a lot of very talented ones.
Yes.
These people here, take it to a whole new level. This is almost more so a way of life than anything.
People travel to Westerly, which for some people is not an easy feat to get to in Rhode Island. They will travel from far in Rhode Island to get to Westerly to perform with this ensemble, and they have a great children's chorus. I mean, it is in ensembles in Rhode Island, it is one of the top. So definitely, even if you check out some of their videos on Facebook, it is surely a place that you want to check out. This week's family-friendly event is the Obstacle Adventures for Kids. So it's going to be meeting at Diamond Hill Park in Cumberland, and it's going to be transformed into a 1-mile kids-only course. It's going to be jam-packed with over 20 obstacles.
Are they checking IDs? Because maybe I can go do this.
Sadly, it's for kids only 3 to 10 years old, so I don't think you'll be able to fit in. But it's going to be just this awesome event. You know, we're able to see a lot of our friends take part of these different fitness challenges where they're in different obstacle courses.
Tough Mudder,
Spartan Race.
Oh, they're all over the place. They actually electrocute you now in these things. It's there used to be an underground industry for this, but now it's out in the public and people pay a lot of money still.
My kind of race is more who can eat more chicken at Wright's Chicken Farm.
I'm down with that. Bring on the salad and the fries.
But let me tell you, I've been checking out these photos. I've been looking forward to talking about this event for quite some time. I've got a really rambunctious 3-year-old son, and it is going to be amazing. You can register online. It is a non-timed event, and there's going to be separate start lines. So, for example, I was nervous, is my 3-year-old going to get trampled by the 10-year-old? And there's different start lines, but they're all going to be able to finish the finish line, and each kid gets a medal. I know that there's controversy about that kind of stuff nowadays, but let me tell you, if you've been able to conquer this 20 plus obstacles, you deserve a medal.
Well, everybody at Tough Mudder gets some kind of a medal or a headband, and people get, a ribbon saying they completed it, because just to complete it in and of itself, whether you do it in an hour or 10 hours, is a feat in and of itself. And I mean, the same thing with the Boston Marathon. You cross that finish line, you get that medal, and it's a great keepsake for the amount of money you've raised and paid to be part of it.
It's true.
So that's
and you can stay in it as many times as possible. So say you have a really busy kid, they can keep running around the obstacle course.
Yeah, you see, when it comes to stuff like that, I really don't have a problem with everybody getting a medal and a ribbon. I think that's a good. That's not necessarily. It's more of a, hey, I completed it. So that's important.
Yeah, so that's what's going on for Wicked Family Friendly.
That's right. No matter where you are in Rhode Island, you are never more than 18 and a half miles from either Massachusetts or Connecticut. So we've got an event here that is just over the border. And, we keep on saying it's the last one, but they keep on bringing more players in. Carty's Furniture bringing it to you over there in South Attleboro, Massachusetts. It's the Extra Point Football Show. This Monday night's guest, ladies and gentlemen, Rob Ninkovich.
That's a great last name.
He is. It's a very cool last name, and he's a very big guy. He is a linebacker for the New England Patriots, and he will be in store on Monday night at 7 o'clock for their live broadcast of the Extra Point Football Show. It's broadcast live on 103.7 WEEI-FM. It's also videotaped or recorded digitally, however you want to say it, for airing on MyRI TV on the next Sunday before the game. This event has grown to be such a great opportunity for families, people with kids, nieces, nephews, whatever, even people who may be a little older and don't want to fight the crowds at a massive player signing. The first 100 people get a free autographed photo. There's plenty of parking. It's in the comforts of Carty's Furniture. There's plenty of room. It's a very family-friendly setting. This will probably be the last show they do for the year. So Rob Ninkovich is, and he's a very well-liked player. He's very charity-minded. He's very active in the community. As a matter of fact, earlier this week, he received an award from the Hockomock Family YMCA.
Wow.
Very, very good honors. He is a leader on the team. He's one of the leaders on defense. He's been to the Super Bowls before. He's good friends with Tom Brady. He can grow one of the best beards I've ever seen. I mean, just glorious, full, and thick. It's amazing. And he's about 5 feet taller than I am. So again, this Monday night, over at Cardi's Furniture in South Attleboro, it is the final, the Extra Point football show at Cardi's Furniture with guest Patriots player Rob Ninkovich. All right, Mary. Do we have anything in the prize closet? I mean, this new recording studio that we have here, it's bigger.
It is.
Do we have in the prize closet that is like a cavern of wonder?
Yes.
What do we have to give to our faithful listeners?
So we talked about the movie Bleed for this earlier in the show. We've been mentioning it a few times. A lot of you have been actually able to see commercials now locally. We have a pair of boxing gloves that were used on set, that were used in the movie of Bleed for this, that Miles Teller wore. So we have a pair of boxing gloves up for a special winner who listens to Wicked Roadie. So you can find that on our website. You can also enter through our Facebook page. So if you're a big Facebook user, you can just head on over to Wicked Roadie Podcast on Facebook and click to enter. And let me tell you, if you put them on, you feel like you can tackle the world.
Oh, that's Rocky.
That's right. It's okay. This is like actually, a real
that was
Rocky.
Europe. That was Europe's final countdown.
Oh, yes, it was.
I saw a great viral video this weekend. I know this is off topic. I saw a great viral video from about 5 years ago of marching band that marched through their high school playing Final Countdown on the last day of school in uniform. Nobody had an idea. All the kids taped it and everything. The teachers were going crazy. Wow. It was awesome. I watched it about 5 times at about 3 o'clock in the morning. Susan loved it.
I love marching band nerds. I am one myself. Well, as we said in the beginning of the show, everything we talked about today can be found on our website, wickedroadiepodcast.com. And you know what? If you like what you hear, we would love it if you considered to become a patron of the show. You can click on the support tab on our website or head on over to patreon.com/wickedroadie.
Yeah, you can also find us on Facebook and Instagram. If you're out there at different events that we've talked about today or other events and you're taking photos, show us what you're seeing. Tag us in the description or simply use the hashtag WickedRoadie. And if you'd like to be part of the show, we have advertising and sponsorship opportunities available. For information, just email us at wickedroadiepodcast@gmail.com.
Until next time, folks, I'm Mary.
And I'm Ben.
And you've been listening to Wicked Roadie. We'll have more for you next Thursday.